Generally, when people think of fitness, they think of one of these four things to achieve fitness. Cardio for that cardiovascular fitness, strength training for looking swole in the gym and looking super ripped and trying to get all those males and females to look at you, eating well to achieve that body weight that you desire. Fourth is your mental well-being, or mental fitness as I like to call it. But the thing about fitness is that in order to achieve an overall fitness package, we need to incorporate all four of those things into our life. And I know that can sound overwhelming, but if me, someone that is an extreme procrastinator and someone that has a tough time implementing things in my life, I've been able to effectively implement all four of these things into my life to keep off that 150 pounds that I've lost, achieve fitness goals such as running an IRONMAN triathlon, and achieving a mental state where I feel I can achieve whatever I put my mind to. So today I'm going to discuss my fitness protocol, the philosophy around it, in hopes that it will help you achieve your goals. But I just want to make something clear right up front. Just because this protocol works for me does not mean that it's going to work for you. This is me just sharing my own experiences in hopes that it gives you some inspiration or ideas or something so that you can start implementing these things into your life. So starting off with the cardio portion of the fitness protocol, I use three main tools: walking, running, and indoor cycling. Now I find having those three a great balance because on days that I don't really feel up to running, my body's just a little bit tight or whatever the case may be, I can go out and do a walk because walking is super low impact. It's not something that takes a great deal of energy from me, so I know that at least I'm getting some sort of cardio in. But for those of you that have watched this channel, you know that running is my main focus. So most days I am going out there and putting in running miles. Running has just been such a fantastic tool for me to achieve my weight loss and cardiovascular fitness goals, and it's something that I will do every day as long as I'm able to. Now, indoor cycling is one of these things that I have in my back pocket for the days that the weather is just absolutely awful and I don't really feel like going out for a walk or going out for a run in that type of weather. And unfortunately here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, those weather days happen quite often. Now you'll notice that I had three different types of activity in there, and the reason for that is I want to create fail-safes in my plan. For the days that I don't feel up to running, I have walking. For the days that it's all great, my body's feeling okay, the weather's fine, I can go and do the activity I love, which is running. But on those days where the weather's terrible, where most people would say, I can't do any cardio today, look at it outside, I have the indoor cycling trainer. And that is something that is going to be consistent through the theme of this video, is creating a protocol that you have backups in place, where things that you don't need to think about, you already have them at your hand. You have that answer in your palm of your hand. If it's raining, you can still go on the cycling trainer. If your body's sore, you can still go for a walk. You have something available to you to do to keep that consistency up. Moving on to the section of mental fitness, let's hear a word from today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Managing mental health is a marathon, not a sprint. As someone who's found solace in the rhythm of running, I know it's a powerful way to clear the mind and give us a sense of progress. But even with exercise as a solid step, there are times when you hit a wall, the kind that needs more than just a physical push to overcome. This is where my journey intersected with therapy. A while back, I experienced something that left me struggling with an intense fear of choking. Running helped, but it didn't solve it. I needed help to face this, to get to the very core of my fear. That's when I turned to therapy, which introduced me to the EMDR techniques, unlocking a door to healing that I didn't know was there. I've partnered with BetterHelp, who's also sponsoring this video, to share how reaching out made such a profound difference for me. BetterHelp connects you with over 30,000 licensed therapists with a variety of expertise through phone calls, video chats, or messaging, whatever feels right for you. It's therapy that comes to you when you're most comfortable. Starting can seem daunting, but signing up is straightforward. Just fill out a questionnaire, and in most cases, you're matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. No need to worry about finding the right fit immediately. Switching therapists is easy and at no extra cost. I can't express how pivotal therapy has been for me. It's like having a mental health coach alongside your physical training. If you're ready to give your mind the same care you give your body, check out BetterHelp. Use my link, betterhelp.com/Brandon for 10% off your first month. BetterHelp wants to be your sidekick so you can keep breaking down those barriers that prevent you from feeling the best that you can. Now, the reason I'm putting mental fitness above strength training and eating well is because I think that it's so important that more people see this section of the video than ever. Because mental fitness is something that is neglected. A lot of people think that mental health is either there or not there. It's not something that you need to work on. Unfortunately, I don't believe this to be true, from my own experiences anyway. I believe mental fitness is something that we have to work on every single day, otherwise it's going to deteriorate over time. Just like if we're neglecting our diet for a period of time, we may not see those results immediately, but in a few months time, we're gonna see that we've gained weight or lost fitness. The same goes for mental health. If we're neglecting our mental health day in and day out, we might not notice the day-to-day change, but that stuff is gonna compound over time and lead to a bad mental state in the future. So if we're able to put in a few minutes a day towards our mental fitness, I promise it's gonna make a massive difference for you. Now for me, I do a couple of things to practice my mental fitness. Recently, I've been doing a lot of yoga, and I find that a great way to also work on my flexibility and mobility, but also just take time to decompress and think about nothing and work on my mental fitness. Also, I work on mental fitness by using a meditation app called Waking Up. I've been doing meditation for a couple of years at this point now, and it's been a great tool towards working towards my mental fitness. Over the last couple of years, I've also been going to counseling, which has been a great tool towards my mental fitness. I don't do it every week or whatever, but I do try to get in one session once a month at least. If you don't do anything for your mental fitness at this moment, I strongly encourage you to just try something towards gaining a better mental fitness level. So now let's talk about strength training. Strength training is extremely important, and as an endurance athlete, it's something that I have neglected for a long time. I started my endurance training journey about 7 years ago at this point, completely neglected strength training, and what did that do for me in my early years? I ended up getting injured quite often. I neglected strength training because I thought if I were to go strength train, I would get bigger and limit my ability to move fast, but unfortunately that is just not true. What I've learned over the last few years is there's many different types of strength training. If you want to become a bodybuilder, there's one subset of strength training that you'll do. If you want to become a resilient endurance athlete, there's another subsection of strength training that you can do. But the important thing is every person needs to do strength training in some capacity. Implementing strength training is extremely important, and for me, there's a few things that I implement just like I did for cardio and for mental fitness. There's a few things that I focus on. I do a lot of at-home bodyweight workouts. I do a lot of squats and push-ups. I do those on a daily basis, and I also do at-home kettlebell workouts for that functional strength. There is times where I go to the gym, but it's not very frequent, maybe a couple of times a week on my good weeks. But I do focus on strength training every single day, whether that be through the push-ups and bodyweight squats or doing kettlebell workouts. I make sure to incorporate some sort of strength training on a daily basis. Just make sure that when you're building strength into your fitness protocol, have a few different options that you can do. Bodyweight is a perfectly valid way to do it. Kettlebell is a perfectly valid way to do it. I have a Bowflex like adjustable kettlebell with a bunch of different weights, super space efficient, and it wasn't extremely expensive on sale. I think it was $100 Canadian. So what is that, like $20 US? So you can find those options. Or if you're someone that really enjoys and thrives in the gym, such as my wife, get a gym membership and start doing that type of training. And last but not least, in a fitness protocol, we can't neglect nutrition, because without nutrition, you are not going to be able to achieve any type of your fitness goals. Because you know what? Regardless of the fitness goal, it all starts and ends in the kitchen. Now I'm going to have a video coming out very shortly all about how I eat well on a budget. So if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think it's going to be a really powerful video for you folks. But for me, I eat the same thing almost every single day. I have a few main staples in my diet that I rotate through, but I know pretty much what I'm going to eat. And you know what that does for me is prevents me from overthinking. I know what works for me. I know that what I built into my routine and my diet is going to help me towards my goals. I know that food is my nourishment and it shouldn't be used as a treat on a daily basis. I do allow myself to have treats every now and then towards the later part in the week, or maybe depending if I'm going out for a birthday dinner or something like that, I'll allow myself to have treats. I built that room into my diet. The three main meals of my day, my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, fill a certain amount of calories, and then I'll substitute snacks and whatever if I'm doing more activity or I feel a little bit more hungry. I have some wiggle room built in around those three meals, so I can have that extra treat at dinner or whatever if I need to. So that's how I built my protocol to kind of deal with those situations where I'm gonna have treats around me and I know I'm gonna eat them. I've built in the room for those treats. I think that's a powerful thing to do as well. And it allows you to deal with those times and not feel bad about if you have an extra cookie or something around dinner time or throughout the day. You've built in the budget of calories for that. All right, folks, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Let me know, do you think this type of protocol will work for you, or am I completely off base and it's not gonna work for you? Either one, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear and learn from you all as well. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video, and share it with someone that might find some use out of this. I really appreciate you all making it to the end, and I will see you on the next one.